Imagine for a second that you're a bartender. Actually, some of y'all might be bartenders. Let me know if you are. And let me know how you'd respond to what I'm about to say. So imagine you're a bartender and you're working Thanksgiving weekend. And you're just doing your thing, you working, you know. And this guy strolls into the bar. And he plops down in front of you, starts to make small talk, orders a drink. And then casually says to you, by the way, I have my dead fiance in the backseat of my car. Get the out of my bar right now. Actually, hold on so I can call the police and then get the out when they come and get you. Y'all think that's the weirdest thing she's ever been told as a bartender? If there's any bartenders watching this, could you please let me know what the weirdest thing is that anybody's ever told you? Because I know y'all are like therapists. But good Lord have mercy. Somebody coming in there saying I got a dead fiance in the backseat of my car? Mm-mm. No, sir. No, sir. Not at this bar, you don't. Mm-mm. Hey. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I normally do true crime, paranormal, addiction recovery, whatever else that's fun, or whatever else y'all request, which this one was requested, so we're going with it. And then I gotta introduce her. This is Coco. She's a little bitty tiny, but she snores like a cow. So those of y'all that have been watching for a while, y'all already know she's gonna snore through the whole video. So true crime today, which I'm very excited about because it's literally my favorite subject to talk about. I'm an encyclopedia of true crime. It's ridiculous. So what we're going to be talking about today is the Groom of Doom, or the Corpse Bride. How original that the media came up with those names. We're going to be talking about Forrest Fuller and Jodie Lynn Myers. And it's a horrible story. It's absolutely horrible. So, let's get into it. So before I get back to what happened at the bar, we got to go back a little bit. And y'all, I don't know why I do stories that are from like 1990 because the pictures are terrible and there's no interrogation videos. But this is requested, so we're gonna do it. And it's creepy and it's weird and he's a psycho. So let's get into it. There's not a lot of backstory on like how he grew up or how she grew up. I guess because the story's it's like 30 years old. I mean, you know. So when I was doing research, I'm like, well, shit, I can't find anything on that, but well, whatever. We'll just go with what we know. So what we know is they had been dating for a couple of years. This is Forrest Fuller and Jodie Lynn Myers. They had been dating for a couple years and it was toxic, it was tumultuous, it was on again, off again. You know the type of relationship it is. So Jodie's had enough. She's like, I'm tired of your creepy ass. And this is November 23rd, 1994. So on that day, she tells him, I don't want to do this anymore. You know, I want to see other people. I want to try for another chance at love because this isn't working out. I mean, this is just not, it's not working for me. Well, Forrest could not handle this, so he flew into a rage and started beating her. Let me get over my disgust for a minute. So after he decided he was done beating her, he strangled her with both of his hands and his necktie. And I don't know if he was just so weak or what, because it didn't work. It did not work. He was not successful. So he goes in the kitchen and gets a kitchen knife, comes back and stabs her and kills her. He was so obsessed with her and so obsessed with making her his wife that he was gonna marry her dead or alive. So he decides that he's gonna take her body and he's gonna drive to California. He's from New Jersey. They live in New Jersey. So he gets in his 1994 Camaro and he drives to the convenience store that he works at and he steals $659, which I'm guessing, it doesn't say, but I'm guessing it's to fuel his road trip to California. So after he steals the money, he goes back and he gets Jodie's body and he puts her in his back seat and he puts a wedding dress in his trunk. So he's, you know, traveling up and down the highway, is making his way to California so he can marry Jodie's dead body. But he finds the time to stop and call her mom. Y'all, this makes me furious to have to tell y'all this. But he stops to call her mom and he tells her mom, okay, so I killed Jodie, but I plan on marrying her dead body. So what I'm gonna do is when we get married and I put that ring on her finger and say I do, and they pronounce us husband and wife, like who's gonna do that? Who are you gonna find to you ain't gonna find nobody to marry you to a dead body. No, it's not gonna happen, Forrest. You're crazy. So he tells her, you know, once that's done, once we're married, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut her ring finger off with the ring on it and I'm gonna mail it to you. That way you can have a token of our love. The fuck are you smoking, Forrest? Anyway, so off he goes, traveling, makes it to West Virginia. This is where he stops at the bar. Okay, so he makes it to West Virginia. He stops at this bar. It's called The Last Stop. That's the name of the bar. And that's the one that he walked into and made the small talk with the bartender and told her about his dead fiance being in the back seat of his car. So his statement to the bartender spread like wildfire. I know I'm country, but that is not how I say fire. It spread like wildfire through the bar. Yeah, I guess so, because who says shit like that? Psychos, that's who. But what he didn't realize, what Forrest did not realize, what he did not know about was that the police were already looking for his ass. So Jodie's best friend, Lelaine's Gant, had called the police and said, look, I don't know what's going on, but I cannot get in touch with my best friend. This is my BFF. Cannot get in touch with her. Don't know where she is, but I know her boyfriend is violent. I think he might have killed her. So the police are looking for him. And once the bartender could get away, she called the police as well and said, so this just happened. And they're like, we've been looking for him. We'll be there in just a minute. Just, you know, don't act like anything's going on. Like, don't let on that you called us. So of course she didn't. So the police show up at the bar, this last stop, which just happened to be Forrest's last stop. Okay, that was cheesy. But, so they show up, they arrest him, they look in his car, and they find Jodie's body in the back seat. They found a wedding dress in the trunk. And they're disturbed by this. But they get even more concerned when they start questioning him. And then of course the media gets in on it, and that's where they started calling Forrest the groom of doom, and they started calling Jodie the corpse bride. Y'all, the damn media and their names. So adding to the shock value of this whole case that does not have a lot of information to it, after they arrested Forrest, they found out that he was already married and had a 10-year-old son, but his current wife had a restraining order out on him, and it didn't say for what reason, but I mean, we can imagine he was probably violent. His current wife and his 10-year-old son went to his trial. Instead of a trial, he ended up taking a plea deal that day for 30 years. Y'all, that means, because this was in 1994, and he got 30 years with no parole. But this was in 1994. He took the plea deal in 1995. That means that he gets out in 2025, and he was 29 when he took the plea deal. He ain't gonna be but 59, 60 when he gets out. He should never get out. Never. Ever, ever. That was a short true crime story. I got a long one coming next. It's Screwdriver Red. Don't look it up. Don't look it up. Actually, you can look it up because it's not on YouTube either. I don't know how I keep picking these stories that are not on YouTube, but that's a good thing because y'all have something new to watch. So, hit like if you liked it, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thank you for watching.